Welcome back, everybody, to Catching You. I'm your co-host, Rusty Ham. My other beautiful co-host, Lacie. Say hi.
Hello.
Hello. Kind of a roller coaster weekend for you, but it was awesome. You guys went 5-0
Mm-hmm.
in the, what do they call it, the Silicon Valley Classic,
Silicon Valley Classic 1.
and you guys are champs. I saw on social media it says champs. Did you guys
Well,
get a trophy?
no, it's our own tournament. I don't know why they say that. I don't even know why they call it tournaments because there's no win. I don't know. There's no winner. I guess we're the winners.
To me, it's like a glorified friendly. These are like
It's
friendly
like, I mean, it's preseason games. I don't know why it's called. I don't know.
tournament or classic.
I don't see them as tournaments.
Yeah, I was watching some of the Clearwater, and those fields were horrible.
They don't look very nice, do they?
There were some wicked bounces off that dirt. It just that infield did not look like it was like. I was wondering, like, is that like the first time they ever played there? Because I don't remember.
That happens every year. The Clearwater one happens, and then the Puerto Vallarta one happens, and those fields are trash too.
Yeah,
That's where Jordy Ball tore ACL pitching.
yeah. I would cry. I mean, as a coach, I'd be like, man, there's potential injuries here.
And all the top teams are playing there.
Yeah.
I bet girls have already gotten injured, probably.
But back to your team, you guys went 5-0 after starting out 0-5. So
Yeah.
now you guys are even Steven, 5-5. You guys scored a ton of runs, which was good, which we talked about it last week or a few weeks ago. Actually, it was a private text between me and you. It doesn't help pitchers when you're not scoring because then there's additional pressure on you to hold the fort down, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's 3 games in a row where you guys scored 4 runs in the first inning.
Yeah.
And as a
Yeah.
pitcher, when you go out to the next inning, you're like, you can take a deep breath.
It feels way better going out to pitch after that. And understandably, there's going to be games where it's 0-0 until the last inning or just you go into extras and you have to still hold the fort down. Sometimes runs they're scored out of your control. There's always the little bloopers that you can't control. Umpires safe and out can't control. So
Strike ball.
you could be pitching the best game of your life, and it all depends on whether he calls it a ball or a strike. So runs definitely help though.
It does.
So
And I was proud of you in a sense because after the last game, Sac State came in, bases loaded, and I think you guys are going to be pretty bad anyway, right? It's almost
yeah,
a situation. So mentally, you're like, okay, bases loaded, 6-0.
their best hitters up to bat.
Hitters up the bat,
She's already 2 for 3 with a double and a triple.
So mentally, you're like, okay, this sucks, right?
I mean, it sucks, and I try not to go into those situations. I've learned not to have like big anxiety in those situations. It's just like go attack the hitter, and that's what I did. And she's just a very smart hitter. Where even I threw a really good drop inside, didn't swing at it, called it a ball. Threw a really good drop outside to try and get her to ground out again. A little too off the plate, apparently, for the umpire. Called it a ball. And then I was just done after that, honestly.
That's, if you guys don't know, if you're listening, if you're young, that's code for the umpire was squeezing me,
Yeah,
right?
not fair.
Not giving the black on the plate.
Yeah.
But so going back to why I'm proud of you is, you texted me after that, and you've done this for many years. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know if I need to change anything, right? And as a father who's not there, of course I want to help you and I want to, answer your question. We've talked about it in the past, right? Which is go back to the things that were positive. Now, the Sac State game was not positive, but the games prior to that where you lost, there was some positives, right? You struggled to get out of the first inning, I think, and then you settled down. But what I was proud of you is that you came out against in Friday night against the UC San Diego, and you looked like the Lacie of old, right? You're hitting your spots, your ball was moving. What, 9 strikeouts?
Mm,
Right? I only gave up 4 hits, and I think it was just 4 singles. Right?
yeah,
I think 2 of them were off of your changeup, where it was just like they just threw their bat out there and it just blooped over. So
yeah.
you had a really good. I mean, I guess all 7 innings were quality, right? If you added them all up.
There might have been like one or two that weren't just due to the number of pitches I was throwing, my first pitch strike count, and we do 1-on-1 battles. So when it gets 1-1, you have to win the battle. So
When the
after, or if you get 1-1, you throw a strike right after.
when the count's 1-1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if you get 1-1, like the objective is to get a strike right after.
Oh, okay.
And so first pitch strike and 1-1 battles are you want 66%, which would equal a yes, which goes into the quality inning sheet.
Oh, okay.
So those were the three things that were like off and on the whole game. But yeah,
Now, are you worried that if somebody in your conference is listening to this podcast that they're gonna be looking for a strike when it's 1-1?
not necessarily because
They don't want to
like
get too much away.
no, it's because if I'm going out there and I get to 1-1, and every time it's 1-on-1, I'm thinking like, oh my god, I need to throw a strike or I'm not getting a quality inning.
Right.
Like I'm not consciously thinking about it. Where I could throw a really good pitch at 1-1 and it'd be called a ball and I'd be satisfied.
Okay, I got you.
So, I mean, the objective is to get a strike right after, but again, we talk about control. Sometimes, like, they just don't swing at, like, or it gets called a ball or all that stuff. So, if I were consciously thinking about it and worried about it during games, then I'd probably be trying to place it to make it a strike, and I'd probably get hit more. So if you're in my conference and you're listening, don't think that I'm throwing a strike.
Right. And then the second game that you pitched in, it wasn't. I think I texted you. It just like seemed like, oh, your balls are flat, right? They weren't really moving too much.
Yeah,
You still had the zip, but what and your mom was wondering too, and it's happened to you twice where you got taken out and then you came back in,
yeah,
right? Which shows confidence in your pitching coach.
yeah,
Other pitching coaches, they would just take you out forever.
yeah.
That's kind of cool, right?
It's like I mean, this time around I went back in and got out of a situation on one pitch, so that was good. But then came back in the next inning and gave up 2 hits. So,
Yeah, but it was just too. It didn't like you didn't give up any runs. Is what I'm saying.
no.
And you guys came back and won that game. So
Yeah,
no, but what I'm saying is there's a cultural difference,
yeah,
right? And I think now okay, I struggled the first couple innings. I got taken out because it's first and second. Maybe I just gave up 3 hits in a row, or I walked 2 and I gave up a single. All right, take me out, and then knowing that mentally that you need to be prepared because you
yeah,
might be asked to go back in and finish your game, and that's kind of cool. I think, right? It's not normal. It's not normal that when you take a starting pitcher out, you put him back in because you hope not, because you hope the person that comes in for you shuts the team down, and you don't
yeah,
necessarily. Yes, you're upset that you came out, but you also want to cheer on your teammate that yes, maybe I struggled in the first couple innings, but if I have a teammate that can come in and shut him down behind me, then that's awesome. Now, so it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's like because you went back in because the person who replaced you was struggling a little bit, right?
yeah, I mean, we do a lot to try and throw the other team off. So, like, we
Oh,
have a bunch of
for styles.
we have different pitching styles. So if I'm on my 3rd time through the lineup,
Oh, right.
unless like the game against UCSD, unless I'm mowing them down, like there has to be some sort of mixture. So usually we'll put someone else in for like that third part of the lineup who's different. Now they're all thrown off, and then say they're doing really well too, like they'll probably go through the fourth time. But then again, I could go back in for the fourth time through the lineup, and now they have to readjust to what I was throwing.
Right. No,
So,
yeah, I like that, and it seemed to work, right?
mm,
So, what you got coming up this weekend, Mary Nutter? So, if those of you that are listening, Mary Nutter is probably not as prestigious because Oklahoma's not in it anymore, but there's still some good teams in there, right? You got you're going to play Nebraska on Saturday, right?
yeah,
Uh,
we're
who
playing
are the other kind
Howard.
of major teams?
What?
Other major teams, then we can talk about who you're playing.
I mean, I think 4 other Mountain West teams are in it too,
Yeah.
like Nevada, San Diego.
San Diego State had a really good weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you're in a very good conference.
I am. Yeah,
I would
they're
have mentioned them
definitely
ranked because they had I think, an undefeated
they
weekend,
did. They went 5-0.
and they beat Missouri and they beat somebody else. So yeah, so you're gonna play Howard, you're gonna play UC Santa Barbara, Nebraska. I wouldn't imagine Jordy Ball playing in that game.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know. That's the thing. It's like because I mean, I wasn't really keeping track of how specifically that team was doing. I just saw like highlights of the what tournament they were at,
Yeah,
and I mean, she got beat maybe I think once or twice.
yeah. She also
So,
perfect
you
game
know,
home run.
with
And then
pitchers like that, you might want to put them in.
you got University of Northridge, and then
Who played? Yeah,
you're also playing Loyal Marymount, who has kind of owned you guys last couple of years.
kicked our butts last year.
It was close for a bit, and then they had a few over the fence.
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah,
to jinx it, but you've done a great job of keeping the ball in the inside the park.
yeah.
All of you guys have. I think you've only, as a pitching staff, only get one home run.
Hmm.
Which in 10 games, that's actually really, really good, right? So that's a great job. Uh, yeah, and then you know you have some mental stuff going on with your grandmother passing away. She was awesome. Um, and we're all very sad that it happened. She passed away very peacefully, which is what she wanted. Um, and we were all there to support her. She was able to watch you pitch your shutout game. She was put the computer on her bed, and she was there watching pitch that game. So she's in a good place. I know it's hard because she was very supportive, right?
Hmm.
We're all very sad. We're gonna have a little ceremony, and we love her very much. Right?
Hmm.
Moving forward, Lace, let me ask you this. We talked about the conference and how it's pretty difficult mentally because Boise State's really good. Nevada, I think, is pretty good. I think Fresno State went undefeated this weekend.
Hmm.
I think every game is going to be, and they're all going to beat up on each other too. It's not like, what I'm saying. I think you guys have, if your offense is, no, you're in the first 5 games, your offense was not necessarily there, and that could be for different reasons. It could be the opening weekend, you guys are nervous. Now you guys are kind of feeling it. Um, you have a few girls that are hitting the ball pretty hard. I think you guys have a pretty good chance. Now, to win the whole thing, maybe not, but I think you have a chance to kind of do what you did a couple of years ago, which is I think you guys came in third and went
Second,
to the finals of the conference.
second
You guys came in second in conference?
in the regular season.
Yeah, regular conference. You got
We either came. I think we came in fourth or fifth.
fourth or fifth. Okay.
Then we went to the championship.
Yeah, so that year you were predicted last,
Second to last.
second to last, and you ended up getting fourth or fifth, and then making it to the conference championship against San Diego State, right?
Now this year, being predicted to be very last is actually disrespectful.
That is disrespectful.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
So
Compared to,
yeah,
I don't want to like call out teams, but
but disregard everything I just said.
I won't call out teams, but there are teams that were ranked above us that like are you like it's like are you kidding me? You know,
Right.
especially with when our team has all returners, like our whole lineup is pretty much all returners, and you think we're gonna do even worse than we did last year.
Right.
Interesting. That's really interesting, actually.
That's an eyebrow raiser.
It is.
Yeah, obviously, like the conference is going to be tough, but for you guys to be in last, I think that's a stretch
Yeah.
because all you need to do is because a lot of their 3-game series is right. If you win a couple of those series, you win 2 out of 3. Now you're up there, right?
I think our goal is either 4 or 5 to win 4 or 5 conference series, and the majority of our conference series are at home with a 245 dead center fence.
Yeah, and that was crazy. That now what's it down the line? Because I think that's where the home runs were. Because it's very unusual. To what? Yeah, so 230. So for anyone who's listening, and we've talked about it before about your field. And I was telling I think Uncle Kevin on Sunday. It's unusual because most fields are 210, 220, maybe at the most.
I think we have the biggest field in NCAA.
Yeah. So it's definitely a pitcher friendly. So if you're a pitcher and you want to go and you want to have really good stats, go to San Jose State. Now, if you're a hitter,
We did have a few home runs this weekend, though.
what I was saying is that you guys popped a few over the fence, which is unusual, right? It's unusual because you probably lead the conference in either the other team hitting triples or you guys hitting triples. There's a lot of triples at that field because if you hit it in the gap,
Yes.
it's
We're 3.
going 245 and it's ricocheting off a fence that's 245 feet away, not 210.
And we have a turf outfield.
Oh, yeah.
So when it bounces, you don't know where it's going. We do, though.
Right.
We know where it's going.
Yeah. So that's the good thing. So the conference wise, you have a lot of home. You do end your conference against Boise State, and then you're at Boise State, and then you're at San Diego State.
No.
Yes.
No.
I've looked it up.
My senior day is in San Jose against Boise State.
Are you sure?
And then my last conference series is at San Diego. And then we'd be back in San Diego for the tournament.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But what I'm saying is you're ending. I'm not saying where. I'm saying you're ending your conference with those two.
With the 2 top teams, yes.
Predicted.
Right. And I mean, I wouldn't count against Nevada. I mean, Nevada, their hitters are really, really good.
They were 3rd place last year, too.
Yeah, but I think we've said it before. One of the advantages is that our pitching staff is the only returning pitching staff. Everyone else had graduating number ones or transfers in. So you just never know how that's going to go. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, good stuff. We're gonna keep this one short this week. We just want to kind of recap everybody her weekend, and she's gonna be coming out. So if you guys are local, if you're listening to this podcast and you're local, come see Lacie play. She plays 5:30 and let me look, 5:30 and 8:30 on Friday night, and then she is 5:30, 7:30 on Saturday night, and then 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. Nebraska, if you want to come watch her play Nebraska, that's going to be on the main field, right?
Mm.
Where all the people are, and that's going to be against Nebraska at 5:30 p.m. Saturday night. So come out and watch her play. All right.
The Marionetter is notorious for not being on time with games. So I'm a little worried about the night games, like at 8:30. I don't know if it'll actually start at 8:30.
Might start at 10:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
I mean, people are going to be there all day, so so I say 5:30, but they can always, and it's the Pawtucket Fields. I think it's where you're going to be mostly.
what if the Marionetter was like travel ball where they did hour 30 drop dead?
And then the worst rule of all, where they revert back to the previous inning. That was the worst.
2-hour cap.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
that was the worst, because you would score like 5 or 6 runs in an inning, and time was up, and then those 5 or 6 runs that you scored didn't count, and it went back again. You ended up losing. Anyway, those are the days, right?
Yeah, stupid.
Stupid. All right, Lace. Looking forward to seeing you Friday after Mom and I go golfing before your game.
Right.
You should take it up. You can come out and.
I'm terrible at golfing.
Okay, well then you'll just be in the cart with Jesse, and then me and my mom will golf, and Jesse will golf, and you just look cute.
This is coming?
No, just in the future, whenever we're together. Yeah. All right. I love you, Lace.
Love you.
Catch everybody else on the other side. Bye.